What's up with everyone? This is your cat Shirasoni right here. Time to give you guys Harmor 108. It's already the 8th time for the 8th tutorial. And I remember I promised you guys I'll do it on Harmonizer, but I think I actually have to explain the pitch and the Unison tab here first before you guys could actually understand what Harmonizer does. So let's get right at it. Alright? Our wave candy's gonna help us. So pitch, first of all, you get the frequency and the detune. What these do is the frequency knob, when you see here the white portion of it, you see the division sign right here. The white portion of it is basically the numerator, and the orange portion is the denominator. This goes the same for right over here as well in Harmonizer, but that's for the next lesson. So you get the numerator and the denominator. So basically, if you do 2 over 1, that's 2 times, you know. So the pitch goes over twice. If you do double of that, so 4 over 2, then goes up again, 8 over 2, all the way up to 16, okay? And then you get the denominator. If you do this, obviously, like what you would think, it divides by itself, so it goes down, the pitch goes down. Alright? Detune, on the other hand, when you do this, the detune leaves the fundamental alone. It's not detune as we think in normal synthesizers, you know. It leaves the fundamental frequency alone and changes all the rest of the harmonics. So you guys can see the fundamental is still intact. All right. And if I do this, on the other hand, it collapses itself. This is actually very useful when you're trying to build some kind of bass, but you always need a sub in the bass, right? A sub always needs to be playing on the bottom, so it's very good if you're trying to do all this kind of like crazy drum and bass, like neuro bass, Reese bass shit. Yeah, and you're trying to mess around with it, it's good times. All right, another thing you guys could do is just a B, so turn B on and then just detune it against each other. Good times. All right, there's a lot of things you could do. Octave and hertz, told you guys this before. It should be self-explanatory. If it's not, then look at my lecture number 102. All right, refer back to that. Unison, we got this one is a little special for Harmor. It's different than the unisons found in other places. To begin with, for beginners, if you guys don't know what unison is basically, it makes a copy of itself. So if we have a saw wave, which is the case right here, if I turn it on to 2, then it's 2 saw waves because it's copied, you know. And then if it's 3, then it's 3 saw waves. And look at the let's say U whatever on here. All right, you guys could see. And turn panning all the way up. My bad. I was messing around on B. Wonder it wasn't working. So as you guys could see right over here, there's 2 signals, left and right. And then you get 3. You guys see that? There's like a little thing behind there. If you guys can't see it, yeah, here you can see it. So there's 1, 2, and then 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 2 X's, 1. Yep. 7, 8, 9, so on and so forth. All right. So let me go over the functions real fast. So that's what the order does. It adds more to it. Obviously, more CPU intensive. You get these kind of first of all, you get the three sliders right here. You get the pan. So this pans it for you left and right, you know, far away from each other, so you know it doesn't get in together. The pitch, what it does is it changes the pitches a little bit by a little bit, you know, of each of the unisons, you know, each of the copies of each other. So when the pitch goes out of each other, the phase also goes a little warbly, right? Anyways, a lot of good fun right over there. All right, and then this is what the pitch knob does, and then finally this is the phase. And this is sort of confusing a little bit because Harmor is very distinct with this phase slider. You get full blur at the very top, which means it just blurs the shit out of all the unisons together. So all the phases of the unisons are sort of random, and it just blurs it all together. Up to there, up to here, from up to not the very top, it's jump ahead, which is basically the same thing as this running shit right over here. All right, which means that if you change it by itself, you really can't tell. You need to have B on. And you could tell that the phase goes against each other. It jumps a little bit. You know, the phase moves forward in degrees a little bit every time. In the very middle, you have all aligned, which means that all the phases are aligned and they start at the same time. And then you get equal spread from the bottom onwards to 100% equal spread, which means it just spreads it out more. So in terms of phase, that means it mixes the left and right channels a little bit. You guys seeing it spread out more? Alright, so that's what that does. And then we got the drop down boxes here of the modes: classic, blurred, uniform, random, and then special hertz. Classic, I don't know why they name it classic, but it's if you guys actually look at the individual partials, not on here, but if you record through Edison and then you take a look at it, classic is you get more different types of let's just put it like this: all of the drop down menus, the only thing that's different about it is the way in which the partials, so the harmonics, are amplified. So some of it is amplified less according to what you choose, and some of it is amplified more. I can't explain to you exactly which one gets amplified more and which one gets amplified less, but if you guys record and look through Edison, you could tell that's what's happening behind the screens. Obviously, uniform is the most uniform. Actually, uniform and random, they are very similar in the way they, you know, they have the partials, you know, aligned towards each other. The only difference that you could tell is this special hertz one, which if you press, and basically if you record hertz, you could see that it's like an upside down version. So you know how it's all back to that octave versus hertz weighing. So generally you'll have more and more harmonics as you go near the top with octave right? But with Hertz, you have more near the bottom, more near the fundamental, and less as you go near the top. That's what happens with Hertz. And then finally, we get this alternate distribution switch. And if you turn this on, what happens is they mix left and right channels together to create different kind of phasing. So the best way to see it is, you guys already noticed the difference. This is the normal mode. This by the way means left right. So the left channel is going into the right channel here, and then it's going vice versa. Let me play it actually. You see what's happening? They're feeding off of each other. That's what's happening. All right. Alternate. So that's what alternate distribution does, and it's very interesting to see how it works. It's just a different way to create more phasiness and more of that. But all of that aside, for like 90% of the time, what you're gonna end up using Unison for is to make a supersaw, right? So to make a supersaw, get at least order up to 7. I think the classic Yamaha DX7 was 7 Unisons playing in order. So there you have it, supersaw. That's it. And add some reverb on it. That's it. Alright, so I hope you guys enjoyed this lesson. Till next time, peace out. Wait up for the Harmonizer 1. Reactions and reviews gonna drop tomorrow as well. So peace out. Deuces.